Hello.
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 So, we're doing another podcast.
Yep. This is the Nintendo E3 review podcast.
You know, originally I was thinking I wasn't going to be a part of this tonight, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's do this.
Shell was originally going to die on the way back to his home planet, but he ended. but there was some bad weather, so they had to delay the flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention...
There's some bad weather here.
Oh yeah, we got some bad weather here, too. It was fucking raining like crazy here.
It's really hot over here.
Yeah. I had both.
Well,
I kind of wish I had my own room right now, because then I could actually sleep without a shirt on and maybe pants. Right now I have to suffer because I can't do that.
So you're saying that you suffered like G did?
Yeah.
So Nintendo E3. KI is not here.
Yeah, KI is taking a little bit of a break.
Yeah, today was not a good day for him.
Yeah.
Actually, today wasn't a good day for a lot of things.
And
it was a good day for me.
It was, it's the Nintendo E3 Direct has nothing to do with why KI is not here. I mean, it has indirectly something to do, but it's complicated. It's just not a really good day for him.
You got really distorted there on my end.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I have a backup, so I think I'm recording as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, that's good then. All right, so should we get started then?
Yeah. The topics are presentations, games, exclusives, and length. And I can tell Lucky is excited already. But before we move on, though, hey, KG, did you know I have a new dog?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. What's his name?
Her name is Cheekies. Yeah, well, it's a nickname that my dad came up with, so...
What's his real name?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Anyways, we're gonna move on and start with presentation, and to start it off, Shell is gonna say a few words about it.
Well, honestly, okay, so when it comes to the presentation of the Nintendo Digital event, I personally thought that, there was a lot of enthusiasm on there, which I thought was pretty good for them, considering the fact that when it comes to Nintendo, they always like to have fun with everything that they do, even if things don't turn out the way they want it. But when it comes to the developer story, when they did the Star Fox one, I was like, alright, that's fine. But then they did one for Yoshi's Woolly World, they did one for Mario Maker, and there was another game I think they did it for, but I don't remember what it was. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is going long enough. We could just watch the Treehouse for info like this. But aside from that, the presentation was not that bad. Done.
Okay. Hold on. Before I start, isn't length sort of part of the presentation bit? I know it's going to get brought up.
It's just that if you like it, I mean...
I'll worry about it later.
Yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead. Fuck it. Just go ahead.
Actually, someone go before me because I have to take care of something real quick.
Okay, Neko, you're up.
Are we talking about all of E3? Or
No, just Nintendo.
Oh.
Just do the presentation.
Well, I think all companies and all third parties and first parties did good. They just weren't great. I thought all of E3 was kind of boring, but they all had their own little special thing there, like a special game, like Star Fox. It's still alive, and it looks like, you know, it could be closer to like 64 and Star Fox 2, which is kind of cool with the walkers back. That's kind of cool. And also Paper Jam. I mean, who would ever expect that kind of crossover? I mean, they're both franchises, but really, aren't they like two different things? You know, I mean, who in here is looking forward to that Paper Jam?
My sisters are.
Oh man,
I am
Paper
definitely
Jam,
looking forward to it.
yes.
I mean, it looks
my
really
yes.
interesting when they're using both elements of the Mario Luigi skin. I would really like to have seen Luigi as Paper, though. I haven't seen any of it unless I missed something when I was looking through, because I had to scan through the Direct, you know, on certain things. I mean, was there a Paper Luigi?
We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, because what I've seen of the trailer, there was nothing. But it looked kind of cool how they used elements from both games. Because they look like they have doppelgangers of all of the characters except for Luigi.
Yeah, I'm really angry about that. I want Paper Luigi in this thing.
I mean, they showed freaking Peach. They showed Bowser fighting Bowser.
Showed Toads. They showed a Goomba.
Yeah, and they just didn't show Luigi. I mean, right now this is probably where KI would say something.
Okay, hold on. Let me try. What the hell is a Luigi? That was a really crappy impersonation.
Yeah, that was a very crappy impersonation. Sorry.
Yeah, a little gravel.
Query humanoids. What is this term, Luigi? You speak of Beatborg?
Yeah. Yeah,
And I haven't seen that much on. Was there really something on Metroid at all?
Yes.
There was. It's a spin-off. It's called Metroid Prime Federation Force.
I mean, it sounds interesting, but I mean, I haven't seen any footage of it.
It's all just one big multiplayer game. I mean, it all right, but that's all.
It all right.
It all right.
I mean, I'm sure they had other things. I should have looked at the Direct a lot more. I mean, I looked at it. I mean,
They've got a new Mario Tennis coming out.
I know, and also we kind of got a Direct before the Direct.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, let's see here. We got Roy, Ryu, and I think we got a stage for Ryu.
Yep.
And we got a bunch of other shit. We got a bunch of shit before the actual Nintendo Direct.
We got Earthbound Beginnings.
Oh, and that too. Thank you.
No
I'm
problem.
hoping that with this release of because that's the one thing I really like to be the last thing I talk about. I mean, the Star Fox thing more. But is there anything else other than what I've talked about so far?
Not really. Is KG back?
Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
I guess he went through two topics.
Yeah, let me just finish this. With the release of the Star Fox Zero, I'm hoping that Nintendo puts Star Fox 2 on Virtual Console, because I would buy the hell out of that.
Same here. I'd buy it day one.
So that closes it with me. So who's next?
Big KG.
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, wow, I did that pretty horribly. Alright, I guess I'm not going to talk about the games yet. I'll keep that for later. But presentation-wise, it started off in honestly, a rather Nintendo way. With Muppets and stuff. And with them turning into the Star Fox characters. I'm like, that's pretty cool. It's not something you would be able to do with a different presentation style. And oh my god, cat. And it's like, alright, let's show off the new Star Fox. It's like, great. And then the developer diaries started. And it's like, oh. And so, I mean, I told you I watched it in like a quick 6 session to like skip over the diaries and stuff. But the Star Fox thing is like 10 minutes. And I'm sitting here going, I'm not surprised people started losing enthusiasm here. Because, honestly, I'm not really a fan of things being talked on for too long in an event. It's like, here's this, maybe a little blurb, and that's it. But, and I think Shell said this earlier, there were a lot of things that were like developers' diaries.
Mhm.
It feels weird when you consider that a digital event where you can essentially cut out what would be the filler, or at least what could be saved for after a conference. That it kind of had filler to people, and I think that's part of why it wasn't received as well, was because of they used too much time for things like developers' diaries and not much about the games. Granted, seeing it, and I guess still a bit understanding that criticism, I was expecting worse, and I guess I didn't get that. I'm done.
Well, I see your point with It's my turn, by the way. I see your
Yep.
point with the length of the diaries. It did not help with the waiting enthusiasm the hype train was going through.
Mhm.
Overall, the presentation, when it started out with the Muppets and everything, I loved it. It was in line with the way the wacky style from it was in line with the wacky style from last year with Iwata and Reggie fighting and the whole Robot Chicken stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the way it started, that was fine. No problems there.
Mhm.
I think though, the way it was like transitioning itself from Star Fox, short preview Star Fox into a Diaries, that was fine too. But it kind of got rough in between the Diaries and moving on to another game. It was, it just catches you off guard. Like, when is this going to be over, the Diaries, and then like, oh, it's over. Then moving on to the next game. Oh well.
So Skylander,
Yeah. So,
which we'll talk about in the next topic.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like the presentation. There is nothing horrible or anything about it. I think the format should still be the same way. I will talk about it a little bit more later. But it should stay the same way. It shouldn't be Muppets or Robot Chicken next year. It should be something new, which I cannot wait for.
Because that's the thing. They should every year switch it up.
Yep.
See what they can do.
Exactly. So, I am
my turn yet?
I am
Oh.
I am done. So you can go ahead, Icepick.
Okay, well, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so this image right here pretty much sums up my reaction. Feel free to add this into the video.
I was about to say, people can't see radio.
Do I sound like I'm on old-time radio?
Well, let's see. How fitting.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how I. But in all seriousness, I mean, it wasn't really out of character. Last year we had Robot Chicken. We've seen them do stuff with the Mega 64 guys, and that's all fun. It's all good and fun. I mean, I have nothing wrong with the way that they actually did the presentation. I wasn't able to hear any of it, and I didn't get to see all of it because I was at work while it was going on, and I just followed along.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I agree with you guys that the developers' diaries were kind of something I would have uploaded as separate videos just on the YouTube. I don't think it really added anything to the direct.
I mean, yeah.
It definitely didn't in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I'm just a little disappointed that we didn't get to see a developer diary for Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. How would that have gone by? So, how do you feel about this new game in the Mario Tennis series? Please kill me.
Fuck, man. That game actually looks fun.
It looks good, but it's like there hasn't been a good Mario Tennis since the first one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Let's hope that.
I didn't like any of the handheld ones because they were like
I didn't-
RPGs or something.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Power Tennis. I'll get to Mario Tennis in a little bit.
Well, if
But
Ice Stick's done,
the presentation was solid.
Yeah, the presentation was good.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
So should we move on to games?
Yeah, moving on
Yeah,
to games.
I'm sorry I went on to games because actually I didn't really watch the presentation except for the beginning part.
You're here, folks.
Why
Neko
don't
did
we
not.
get things started?
Neko
You know
did
what I
not
mean?
see the presentation, but you had a good opinion though, Neko.
I mean, you were asleep while it was on, right?
No, I actually watched the first part until it got to Star Wars, and then I just started skipping through.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Fox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how did I get to that? I mean,
you're pretty sleepy,
I
though.
guess the word. Yeah, you just woke up
Yep.
from a nap, so I mean,
yeah,
you're kind of
But-
tired.
yeah. I saw the presentation, with the Muppets and stuff. That was good, but I still think that the Robot Chick thing was
Jesus
better,
Christ.
but it was good though.
I
It
agree with
wasn't
you.
It wasn't terrible though.
Save your game, there might be lightning.
Yep.
That'd be great if I was playing Final Fantasy 13.
So
Why would you say that?
Oh God, dude.
moving on to games, Shell Shock will also start it off. Go ahead, Shell.
All right then. Okay, so for the games, Nintendo started off with a bang with Star Fox.
Yep.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
and they're calling it Star Fox Zero. This game looks really good. It reminds me more of Star Fox on Super Nintendo and Star Fox 64. I get vibes from both. It's cool to see some new stuff. Like they brought in the Velociraptor type R-wing movements,
I love
Which-
that thing.
which came from Star Fox 2.
I thought it came from Jurassic World.
Yeah. I think I see why exactly you say that. But when it comes to the whole like Landmaster turning into the whole hover mode, I think that's cool too. I really like how this looks. I never really got into Star Fox Adventures Assault, and I tried getting into Command. I only beat one scenario, and then after that, I just got bored. So I pretty much just said, nah. Didn't really like any of those three games. I only like the original N64. That being said, I have high hopes for this game being really amazing. Basically, a return to form in the series, and it comes out this holiday. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see, what was next? I might
It
not
was,
go in.
Skylanders.
I might not go in order based on like what they showed. I'll just name everything, and if I forget anything, let me know. Let's see. I liked the new Zelda game. Triforce Heroes is what they called it. Where you have 3 lakes, and they all like go in a totem pole, like attacking all the enemies. Thought that was pretty cool, and supposedly that game has online.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's coming out this holiday season. And while they were talking about that game, they were also talking about that Hyrule Warriors is getting a 3DS version, which was leaked last week, but now it's known as Hyrule Warriors Legends. It has 2 characters from Wind Waker, one of which is Tetra. Who was the other one? Forgot who it was.
The King of Hyrule.
Okay. Yeah.
He turns
And-
into a boat.
Now, I don't know how many people have played Samurai Warriors Chronicles when the 3DS launched, but there's a feature from that game that's going to be this one, where you could switch between characters by using the touchscreen. I thought that was cool, so I'm glad they put that in here.
Oh, that is cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
I might get this version just so I can play it on the go.
mhm.
But overall, like that was good. Let's see, Mario Tennis. I never got into Mario Power Tennis or Tennis Open. I only like the N64 one. But I might pick this up. I honestly think that like Mario Tennis should stick to being in the consoles. Although the Game Boy one that I played was pretty good. Let's see. Then we have Metroid. Let's see, Metroid Prime Federation Force. That game, I kind of want to play it. But when I seen the Treehouse stream of it, I actually think that it looks a lot better. Than how like it was presented. Well, at least for the trailer. But I do want to play it, and the fact that Blast Ball is part of this, I knew for a fact that it had Metroid Prime vibes because when I watched it at the World Championships, it looked like Metroid Prime. So the fact that they have Blast Ball, I actually prefer Blast Ball honestly, but I'm still gonna do both. So I'll pick that game up. It sucks that it's not getting the love that I would love to see it have, but whatever. That's another topic for a different day. Let's see. Other games I want to talk about. Let's see. Xenoblade has a release date. December 4th of this year. We also get a release date for Yoshi's Woolly World, which still looks awesome. October 26th, is that right or no?
October 6th. Wait, for your Woolly World?
Woolly World, yeah.
16th, actually. You were really close.
16th. Okay, thank you. Mario Maker gets a release date September 11th, the most oddest day to release a video game.
Make the twin pipes.
Oh God.
The twin Bowsers.
Oh God, guys, seriously, no. I don't want to laugh at these jokes.
Well, it's been like 14 years or something.
Still,
Your mom's going to get it. When will it be funny then?
It's a personal matter. For
I
me.
know.
So, yeah, but anyway, speaking of Mario Maker, like, after seeing it, or rather, Super Mario Maker, I'll just correct myself with that. I've seen like gameplay of it during the World Championships, and there's a lot of insane stuff. And when they were showing it off at E3, I love how it has amiibo support. It's cool that you could play as like the Wii Fit trainer, for instance. I'm assuming there's gonna be a select amount of characters that you can play as. Hopefully every amiibo that exists you can use. Including the Pokemon ones, the Splatoon ones, and whatever. Let's see. I'm gonna be picking it up. Let's see. Another game that caught my eye in that presentation. Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. Holy fucking shit. Yeah. They crossed it over with Paper Mario. I have not seen this coming at all. Because, like, I was hoping for a Paper Mario game, and I was hoping for a Mario Luigi game. But instead, we get a crossover of both. And I found out that it's a Mario and Luigi game. It just has Paper Mario characters, too.
We just need Paper Luigi.
I think Syke said something like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. No, but it's like, holy shit, I have to get this game. I actually need to play Partners in Time, Bowser's Inside Story, Dream Team, beat those, because I've only beat Superstar Saga. But before I get this, holy crap. I also have to play the Paper Mario games as well, including Sticker Star, which, I hear mixed things about it, but I don't want to go into detail about that right now. Anyway, so there's, like, they talked about the Animal Crossing game where you use the amiibo cards, but then they went to a different Animal Crossing game, which is a board game, which reminds me more of Fortune Street with Animal Crossing, and you can use amiibos for that. I want to get those amiibos, especially the Isabelle one. And speaking of amiibos, Mario Maker, you could use the 8-bit Mario. Like you get into there's two 8-bit Mario amiibos. You get the classic one, you get a more modern version of it, but still 8-bit. I think that's cool. I'm gonna get both. Let's see. Fire Emblem If is now known as Fire Emblem Fates in North America. I think that's a better name than just If.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did they say it was still going to be 2 versions?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
it
they
is
did.
I was actually going to say that it is going to be 2
Okay.
versions. So I'm assuming it's going to be Fire Emblem Fates Red, Fire Emblem Fates Blue. I'm just basically naming those until like we know exactly what they're going to do with those.
So they're gonna go the Pokemon routes.
Well, in a sense, because
Yeah.
whatever path you take is the path that you're going to go with. I personally think that they should just made it one big game, and that you choose your path, and if you want to choose a different path, start up a new save file.
Yeah. But I
that-
guess it didn't allow for it. You know, the hardware.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it would have worked. I mean, the only reason why I think it would have worked is because if you want to play the digital version, it would work. That's why I felt.
Yeah.
Let's see. That game is still slated for 2016, but most likely is going to be in the first part of it. And we also got what was Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. What do they call it now?
We'll just call it #Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
So that's what I call it.
I'm just going to call it the waifu game.
Please don't. Oh
Okay.
God,
Okay.
you're triggering me.
Okay. I'm still gonna get the game. I still think that it's gonna be awesome. And it's still coming out next year. Like it's coming out next year, so yeah. I'm trying to think of what other games I want to talk about before I pass them along. I think that might be it. I may be forgetting something.
I think
No,
that's it, show.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
KG.
Overall, I think that the lineup is solid. Like it's nothing like spectacular, but I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
All right, so passing it on to the next person.
Alright. Well, before I let the next person go on, and just a reminder of what Syke says, is that you don't have to go through all the titles. And so Shell sort of, I think, named all of them. So
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, I
it's
did it
sort of
without
goes-
realizing I did. I was trying to.
Yeah.
I only named select. I didn't think it was all of them.
In any case, if you're going to attempt to talk about all of them, you might want to do like a speed impression or something or whatever.
KG,
Is
you are the next person.
Wait, so Ice Pick's not talking?
No, I'm last.
He's
remember?
last.
Yeah,
Oh, and
that's
KI's
what I
here.
Yeah.
on this one.
All right. So your
Oh, you want to go
impressions?
last on this one? So,
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
I'll go. All right.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
I
So
already.
yeah,
I've
you already talked about it.
That's true.
So.
All right. Well, I won't be long on this one. I like Star Fox. I like the Paper Mario and Luigi crossover. Paper Jam. What's it called? That was
Yeah, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam.
Yeah. There was a lot of solid stuff, but there is some stuff like what was that one game developed by Level 5?
Oh, Yokai Watch?
Yeah. I wasn't too much into that. I zoned out a little bit. That Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem game looked pretty good. A little too anime for me, but I'd still play it. I won't use the other word that KG doesn't like.
KJ's is like freaking out already.
I'm just disappointed about the Fire Emblem Fates being two separate versions. Blue version and red version. When are we going
I
to get
think what you mean to say is Omega Ruby and Alpha
Alpha
Sapphire.
Sapphire? No way. I'll keep referring it to red and blue. That is the natural American way. No green. You can keep your green.
Oh, you just insulted Ice Pick.
I'll keep the green. You can't have any.
Good. I didn't want any in the first place. But I guess we can have yellow version soon. Star Fox, it looks solid. I think there needs to be a lot of work done, though. I mean, we didn't see anything last year. Now we do see it. I still think it needs a little bit more work. Did Shell moan? Did you moan, Shell?
No, I was humming actually.
It's like Shell's just looking into the podcast. He's like, "Damn it! Why did I go first? I have so much more to say."
I do like that we got dates though for some games.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles X, Yoshi's Woolly World finally gets a date. I mean, we haven't heard any. I mean, we haven't heard any mention of release days since or release period, release time. You know, quarter 4 or quarter 3. You know, that kind of stuff. Solid list. Nothing too, you know, nothing like last year. Nothing like it wasn't anything spectacular. I mean, there's a few things, but overall, I'll keep my eye on for Mario and Luigi Paper Jam and. What? What happened?
I think this is what happens. It's when I get distracted by other things.
Oh, fuck.
So you need to get
All right. Well, I am done though. It's good, not great. Didn't need any more, but I am satisfied. Whoever's next can go next.
Guess that's me.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here now. I really like Star Fox Zero. I fucking love Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, although it needs like about 100% more Luigi. But you know, it was a trailer, so you know, I'll give it time. Maybe they'll add all the Luigis. Maybe even 8-bit Luigi, so there'll be 3 Luigis to 2 Marios. Who knows? Triforce Heroes, awesome. Yokai Watch literally made me groan at my desk when it popped up. That's how much I don't care about it.
Yeah, I was being really nice to it when I said I wasn't really into it.
Animal Crossing Party, don't care, but it's giving me an Isabelle amiibo, so it's cool. I do want that Isabelle amiibo. I hope it's not packaged in game, because otherwise I will buy it. I'll buy all of them. Fire Emblem Fates, good to see that it is in fact coming out in the West. Fire Emblem hashtag, I still don't care. Xenoblade Chronicles X, good to see it got a release date. Yoshi's Woolly World, good to see it got a release date and it's still looking fabulous. Super Mario Maker, looking really good. I'm kind of hyped for it now. I wasn't hyped at first. I was kind of disappointed because there wasn't an option for Super Mario Land 2 skins or Super Mario Brothers 2 skins, but I'll get over it. In fact, I think I already have.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? Mario Tennis, please kill me. Let's see, fuck, was there anything else? If there was, I can't. Oh wait, Skylanders. I want that Donkey Kong Skylander.
Really?
And the Bowser
Yeah,
one. Those things are fucking awesome looking. They can also
want-
be amiibos.
I want both of them now.
I also want both of them now.
Oh,
And maybe they'll be easier to find. Who knows?
Maybe
Who
it'll be
knows?
harder to find.
Yeah, that's true. Shit, is there anything else at all that I am missing? Star
Did you
Fox.
talk about Metroid?
Oh yeah, Federation Force. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
sorry, that's just literally how I felt while I was looking at it. Actually, no, that's not true. When I was looking at the trailer, I was just thinking to myself, oh man, there are going to be a lot of people pissed off about this.
Yeah. Didn't look that.
Off the honor.
It did. It's not even that it looked bad. It looked okay. It's just that
This is not what they were expecting.
this is not what anyone was asking for.
Yeah.
They didn't want a spin-off. They wanted the real deal.
Again, sorry, Shug.
Like,
Go ahead.
it's okay. It's okay to be upset that it's not what they want, but I really think that a lot of people have blown it out of proportion. But
Oh,
I'll
for
get
sure.
to that. I'll get to that later on.
Actually, I would like
Yeah.
to get to that by second.
Okay, so did KG want to go last?
Yep.
All right, you're up.
Alright.
What is that?
So, yeah,
Like,
I thought
like-
Star Fox looked pretty cool. That's all I'm gonna say. I guess. I mean, I don't think I ever said this in a podcast, but I'm pretty sure I said this months ago. But I'm not entirely enthused about Platinum making it. It's only because of how I felt about like the extra stuff in the Wonderful 101. But I'm gonna give them a chance despite that. I mean, it's a Star Fox game. I'd rather not people yell at me for not buying it. Next up. Which I think it was the Skylanders of April. I barely watched it, but I saw the Bowser Skylander and I was like, oh my god, that looks cool. And I'm like, I might get the Skylander. I haven't bought any of the Skylanders one. I bought one of the Disney Infinity ones, and it'll probably make Psych groan, but it's like it's the Elsa Disney Infinity.
Can I
Oh.
say something really quickly?
Go ahead.
My favorite part about the Donkey Kong Skylander is that he's dressed up like he belongs on the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts band cover. No, seriously, he does. That's my
Okay.
favorite part.
I was gonna say, why would the Disney Infinity figures make me groan? And he said Elsa. I'm like,
Because
oh,
it was
okay,
Elsa.
yeah.
That was it.
Sorry, guys. I think it's overrated. I'm talking to the audience, whether it's just overrated. I think
It's alright.
it's a good movie. So that's all.
Alright, I'm gonna show you guys what I was laughing at, in a bit.
Put
but
this,
it's
put
not
this
relevant.
in the podcast.
All right.
Alright, give me a moment. But while I'm talking, in the meantime, oh, fuck off.
KG literally can't even right now, you guys.
I
Yeah.
can't even. Alright, what was next? The Zelda thing. Again, I think I said earlier that this, like, based on what I saw from the live commentary stuff, it felt like a Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze all over again in terms of reactions, but the actual thread talking about the game doesn't have as much. So, whatever. It's pretty clear to me that, going next on that, by the way, this other thing looks cool. Metroid Galactic Forces. I think the best thing to say about it is that there's a time and place for everything. And I guess for Galactic Forces, whether it looks good or not, it wasn't the right time for it.
My favorite part
That's
is how you
mainly
got the
because-
name wrong.
Yeah.
That's just how
That
much you
shows
care.
how much I don't care.
Exactly.
Oh.
That's my favorite part. I should have done that on purpose.
Damn, man. KG beat you, Ice Pick.
Metroid Prime Final Fantasy.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree with that statement, KG.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that people got upset, though. I mean, it, like Shell said, not Shell, but what Ice Pick said earlier, it's not what people wanted. And as NKI just told us, that 2D Metroid is reconfirmed, and that Metroid Prime Force heavily hinted at. So that's good for the 5 people that listens to this. But, but like I said, I think if this game was revealed, like, not very, like, maybe a day after either a 2D Metroid or a Metroid Prime 4, or rather just after, at the same time as Metroid Prime 4, it would have been fine. it would have been completely fine. There wouldn't be this bad reaction for it because it wouldn't feel like, oh, hey, let's make a game without Samus 5 years after the last one came out, or anything. Well, it would just be a spin-off game that either people wouldn't care about or they think, oh, that looks cool, and we're getting our Metroid games. But to them, it feels more like, shut up. It feels more like Metroid got shoved to its grave. And the whole, oh, they're killing my favorite franchise sentiment came in hard when this game was revealed. And I think that was the thing that's everything in motion really hard. But that being said, I do think it's understandable what they did, but then they went too far, and then I was like, I don't remember what was it.
Just go
Fire
with what you
Emblem.
remember. Oh, all right.
Okay. Alright. Fire Emblem Fates. I remember the whole anime thing being a lot. And then I watched the trailer, and I'm like, what's the problem? I mean, I'm not sure if they said it during Fates or when hashtag Fire Emblem was happening, but watching the hashtag trailer, I was like, I wanted to experience like an idle game, but I didn't want to experience it with this. I'd rather they just brought over Idol Masters or something, and I'd be happy to say I tried it without this. But it does have people with pedigree behind it. I'm skipping Yoshi for the most part. Mario Maker looked cool at the World Championship, and I guess another part that went down Metroid was that they showed off Blast Ball, and it didn't look that impressive from what I saw. But who knows? Maybe I'll look at the new one. See how it's great. Mario Tennis, I just skipped it. I was like, yeah, I already said in the last podcast I was at it all the time low for Mario RPGs. So I'll have to see how this one will go. I'm gonna have Yokai Watch. That's Animal Crossing Party. I might get the amiibos. I don't really care about the game. And seeing Animal Crossing Party was like, who are you making games for? I'm pretty sure these don't exist on Wii U right now. But yeah, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's clear that they're prepping up for the next console, and that these are pretty much the last hurrahs that we're going to get before we get to the next one.
Okay, I want to say something about that, though. It's just that the last hurrahs doesn't seem doesn't seem in the characteristic of Nintendo to abandon ship like that.
I don't know. You not remember the GameCube or the Wii? Where it was pretty much barren, like as they were getting ready to transition.
But do you really think that the NX would release the same year after when it's announced?
Well, I never said it would, but who knows what will happen. I mean, and I guess what I was about to say was that I know people are like, why don't they show more for Wii U? Why is it mostly 3DS? I'm like, one did okay. Is what people would like to say. The other one is a travesty. And, I mean, it's the same with the Vita interplay. Why do you think they talk more than the other? Because one is doing well, and one is dead well. So, I'm sorry, but you can't exactly get what you want when there's no benefit to putting something there that has little resources. And that's what?
They didn't announce as many.
Go ahead, guys.
Yeah.
They didn't announce as many Wii U games because they already had Wii U games announced.
That is.
They announced enough Wii U games for the entirety of 2015, and then some at last E3.
Maybe it might have just been for the case of Wii U that actually I can't even say that because it wouldn't make sense. I don't know. I mean, because other companies do go, oh hey, here's this thing that's not 2015 or whatever and whatnot, and then I guess Wii U already had some stuff available. Although, again, I did think it was weird that we didn't get Devil's Third at least, because that's releasing in like August for Japan and maybe Europe. So it's like, huh. But I'm done on this topic.
All right.
Alright, I guess we can skip exclusives then.
Yeah.
because-
Yeah. Well, Nintendo is full of them.
Because that's all there was.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I guess Shell can start off with the length. Hopefully, it's not too long. Ironically,
It's actually, I mean, the length of the presentation, like for what they were going for, I thought the length was fine, even though, with the exception of the developer interviews, those are the only things that I find like to be like bothersome, or I don't know. It could have been a lot better for those. Everything else was fine. That's it. Next person.
all right, KG.
Alright.
I guess in a sense I would have to echo what Shell has said, like, and I think it's mainly because it just sort of felt weird to me that we had a nearly 60-minute direct for them. I'm sorry if I'm using the wrong word, but it just felt like almost half of that time was mainly talking at length about one particular title. And I think the first half is what started the negativity, even if the game shown were pretty good. I think it's just it just looks like an example of if you take too long, you can lose. Whatever. But yeah, the second half in terms of the timing, the time and how long they spent, it was fine, except maybe Super Mario Maker. I don't know. I barely paid attention to that bit, because I watched some of it during the World Championship stuff. But yeah, I don't know what else to add to it. So I'm done. Where's the attachment thing? Oh my god. This thing is so confusing. Alright, who's next?
Yeah, I guess that'd be Neko.
Well, I thought the length was fine, but this is kind of why I almost brought the whole thing out there. You know, I went before everybody. I thought, all E3s they all had something, but they all lacked something. Does that make sense?
No, I know what you're saying.
But yeah, I thought, they, the length wasn't bad, but it wasn't 100% good. I wish we could have gotten more stuff, but then why should we be greedy? We should be happy I'm happy what we got,
Oh crap, now I remember what I was going to say.
So, and not everybody is going to have a really good E3 every year. So, I took E3 the way how it was,
Mhm.
Some good, some bad, some boring. Does everybody agree?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
I think
Good,
everybody.
bad, and the boring. Okay, I'm done.
Can I
So-
interject that?
Go for it.
Yeah, I remember what I was about to say. I think it just, a lot of it came down to the fact that before Nintendo, as I said, Sony effectively pulled a trifecta in terms of fanboy fantasies coming.
Yeah.
And so that was part of the problem. The other problem is that compared to what Nintendo did, some of it felt more like they were crushing dreams, like with Metroid. So I think that's also part of why it got a negative response.
Huh.
All right, that's about it.
Okay, who's next? Kat, did you want to go?
Uh,
I mean, he talked for a bit. I was just wondering.
I was repeating I said earlier, think Nintendo should switch E3 lengths with Sony and Microsoft because Nintendo never fits everything in while Sony and Microsoft usually have a lot of filler with third-party multi-plat.
I feel like that's something I want to talk about in a different podcast. Because it'll fit. Yeah. Is Iceberg next?
no, I think Psych is.
How do you went?
Psych, did you go already? Psych?
Oh.
Okay, I guess I'll go then.
Okay.
As for the length, I thought it was a good length. My only real issue is that I feel like some of their time would have been better spent on other things which they revealed later. And, like I said before, the developers' diaries just were kind of I wouldn't say filler, but it was just sort of, not really relevant.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, that's it for me. I'm just waiting for, Psych, I guess,
Okay.
if he's here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind developer diaries, but like I said with Metroid, there's a time and place for everything.
Right. And the real issue with Metroid is, I mean, like I said, we all sort of assumed that we were going to be getting the big thing there, but it just didn't happen.
Mm.
That's kind of a bummer, but what can you do? So I guess we're pretty much done here, unless, Psych comes back. I don't really want to, end it without him.
Okay, goddamn, I'm back, man.
Oh, there you are.
There you are.
I said,
Oh,
goddamn, I'm
welcome
back,
back.
but I muted myself. Okay, I left.
Yeah, K.I.
Yeah,
is going to bed.
I asked him if he wanted to say a few words, because he was barely in it. So he got to talk, and he...
In all fairness, he's kind of been a little irritated today, so I don't really blame him for not really, being too talkative tonight.
I don't
Yeah.
blame him at all. I mean, E3, actually any kind of video game event, can be very stressful for, people like us because of all the other people.
Honestly, the worst part about it was that my day was already kind of stressful, work-related stuff,
Same here.
Yeah, same.
and it sort of made me feel like I shouldn't have spent time trying to keep up with things, because I just wasn't really focused on work for like the first hour.
Mm.
And then it's like all these things happen, and it's like, oh, there's such and such problem, and blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm trying to get everything done, and it was like, why are there Disneyland photos on my claim or whatever? I'm like, oh god, it's like it's like Disneyland. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fix your vacation area.
So
Oh my
the
God.
length of the presentation was okay. I wish I wish it would have been shorter due to cutting down the developer diaries. But that's all I have to say on that. Overall, I don't know. I think I disagree with KG's assessment about Wii U being dead in the water.
Oh. I don't know. I mean, I didn't exactly use those words.
Well,
I mean, it still has a lot of games coming out.
yeah,
I just
that's exactly my point, though. It has a lot of games, but everyone's attitude is doom and gloom, and that pessimism, it kind of gets to you. I never got to me before, but it gets to you.
In all fairness, I love playing devil's advocate, but I kind of feel like I'm on shaky ground here. I feel like the reason that the reaction to the whole Nintendo Direct was so violent was just because, well, at E3, you expect a lot of new stuff, right? E3 is supposed to be like, Christmas and the 4th of July and your birthday all rolled up into one for gamers, right?
I don't know about 4th of
But-
July.
You know what I mean? Fireworks.
Yeah.
Spectacle.
Fireworks.
Nintendo talked about a bunch of shit we already knew about. And that's fine. None of it came out. But that's just the thing. They talked about shit we already knew about. This shouldn't have been about stuff we know about. It should have been about, okay, we're looking towards the horizon. We're looking to the future.
Now, okay, did you finish?
I mean, I guess I have a little more to say. I mean, it's not really a bad thing, but everyone else seemed to be looking towards the horizon, so
Yeah.
from my perspective, Nintendo's Direct was just a little short-sighted.
Hold
And it
on.
makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense that it be short-sighted. They just want to, they don't want to get everyone's hopes up for games that aren't going to be out for a while, and that makes sense.
Okay.
But the problem is that it just sort of sucks the hype out of the room. We already knew about this stuff, so there's no big surprise. There's no big holy shit moment.
Well,
Right.
So-
well,
Go ahead.
even so, I feel that this does not excuse all the people who, I mean, when it comes to blowing out of proportion, that's one thing, but trying to they're trying to make it as if it was the only fucking thing that. You have to fucking say, oh, you're not allowed to fucking like this fucking I've seen a lot of people
I
flat
don't.
out said this shit.
I've never seen that, but I'll take your word for it.
I've seen that shit, and I think that's fucking stupid. You could like the conference, you could hate the conference,
Oh, God.
you could have criticism, whatever, that's fine. But if you're gonna go out and say that, oh, you are a terrible person because you don't agree with how I feel. We are the majority opinion. We are the only ones that are important. Fuck you, people. People should be allowed to do what they want to do, okay? Fuck you, people.
I feel like I'm the only person in here who didn't take the whole Nintendo thing personally.
no, it's the reactions thing. That's the reactions that got to me, not the presentation. I was in the morning in my basketball shorts. What I got out of bed with, and watched the presentation with my sisters. I didn't mind it. I thought it was dull. For real, it was dull. It wasn't awful. It wasn't horrible. It showed new stuff, which I find contradictory with what you said, I speak.
I'm just saying there was no big thing. It's like 3DS games okay, but people wanted new Wii U shit.
But yeah, that's the whole. But oh shit, it's my dog that's barking. I thought it was Lucky.
Blaming Lucky for your own dog.
No,
Hold on. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I just. It's just that the thing is that you also put expectations in your wording, I speak, and that's where it also your statement also falls short of. It's expectations went too close to the sun and it melted. The wings melted off. Everyone's dreams were dashed. That's how
surprising too.
But that's how melodramatic it was, though. That's how dramatic. There were so many drama queens.
But how can you attack that? Every other major first-party publisher's thing gave us, the Megaton. Nintendo just sort of fizzled out on that. I agree with you that they went too
fizzled
far,
out
but
after fizzled out after the whole. How can we blame that? How can we blame the other ones? How can we blame MS? How can we blame Sony? It's only yourself to blame for these expectations that you have.
I'm actually with Saigon.
So is that what
That's
happened?
how
Basically,
like,
go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
okay.
Shell, go ahead.
No,
Shell then Neko.
Neko, then I'll go.
Fine.
Okay, I was gonna say. So basically, what happened is people was expecting a lot more than what they got from this E3.
Basically, that's what.
And now they're upset and being mad at them because their hopes were too high for like they were expecting some kind of megaton that they didn't get. I mean, we already got some pretty good games. That's why I'm pretty happy. I mean, we're going to be getting Willy World and a bunch of other games, so I don't know why people's expectations were so high to get something really new. I mean, Star Fox Zero is new. That didn't make people happy enough?
Actually, technically, it's not new. We heard about it last year. We didn't see anything.
So basically, they wanted something completely like fresh.
Bingo! You got it. See,
bravo.
it's not. I understand the logic here, and I'm arguing for it. I personally don't agree with it, but I gotta play devil's advocate here.
That's dumb.
Unfortunately, I'm going to join iStick for this one, just because.
All right, cool.
I mean, I probably won't be as into it as he is, but...
I mean, I have fun when I argue.
I know you do.
So,
It's
that's
just,
why
I want to hear Shell though. Go ahead.
Alright, go
No,
ahead.
fuck it, forget it.
No. I'm going to argue somewhere. It's just that how can I attack that? It's simple. The stupid ass melodramatic shit that went on in GAF. That's how I can attack it. It's not even. There was no mild reactions to it. There was no mild reactions to the Nintendo digital event at all. There was this melodramatic shit that kept going and going and going. I can definitely attack it. It's definitely within my rights to attack it, and it's definitely right to attack it. It's just that's why. Okay, you Star Fox Zero. We saw it last year, but now we're seeing it. Well, now we're seeing it officially this year, officially with a new trailer, with new details, new info, and even a release period. There is definitely new stuff. Of course, we're not. Of course, Triforce Heroes is similar to Four Swords and A Link Between Worlds in the regard that is using the same kind of, I guess, engine, the same kind of software they use for Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, it is based on the Link Between Worlds engine. That's right.
Yeah, so we're also seeing some other stuff like Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. So that's something. And sure, it's a sequel, but it's something fresh and new. Not completely, but it's a sequel because it's a sequel. It's still new. It's a new thing. I mean, sure, the conference is not totally new, but guess what? We got new stuff. We got new detail. We got new info. It's not totally new, but there is some new things. It's the opposite of what Sony and Microsoft did, which was mostly new things and a couple of old shit. I'll talk about that later in detail because there was this one thing in Sony that just like it's so dumb. But the Batman Arkham Knight thing, it's like it's a week away.
That was very bad.
Yeah, so I think it is a little hypocritical to definitely. I mean, okay, it's understandable. But it's also, hypocritical because expectations were way too high, unbelievably, ridiculously high. And you know what? After we got what we got from Microsoft and Sony, just do not expect to go in with zero expectations next year and the year after that and the year after that. Don't get too much into the hype. This is a negative effect of hype. I thought I wouldn't experience it, but there I go with the negative effect of hype. Anybody can go after me. I'm done with the rant.
I'd like to hear what Shell was going to say.
Yeah, Shell, please. If
I was going to make a snarky remark real quick.
Okay, go for it.
Well, can you blame people for getting hyped up after they got their trifecta
They're
of dream
not.
games? Which, hold
Nintendo's
up,
not
I'm not done
Sony.
yet.
Go
Hold
ahead.
up, I'm not done yet. Their trifecta of games, which was, may I remind you, a remake of a PlayStation 1 game, a canceled PlayStation 3 game, and a Kickstarter. How do you think Nintendo is going to live up to that?
That. What? What is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck would he? You just fucking contradicted yourself there.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Can you
That's-
blame the people who's like after they got this and that? Their expectations were so high. Come on, KG.
I'm under bus.
What
You
the
realize
fuck?
I'm throwing the
Well, I was like, what the hell? It just took me a second to grasp it, like, wrap it around my head. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Come on. You caught me. You caught me with a confused look.
like
Go ahead.
God. But yes, go ahead, Shell. Oh,
Yeah, shit. Hold on. Let me just convince him. Hold on.
alright.
But go ahead. Wait. Anybody want to say something else? That's fine.
I guess I do have something to say.
Oh, damn. Like,
What? Oh, sorry.
I got a leg cramp, right as I was at the climax of that comment.
Okay, alright, sorry. I thought I was like... Alright, but anyway, what I was going to say was just simply, I don't really think that there was I don't really think that it was an impossible dream here. I think that there was one thing that could have at least,
Oh my god.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No,
He's
no.
leg cramp still, sorry.
I'm gonna go on mute.
Alright, that's fine. Okay, but I think that the one thing that probably could have, just saved Nintendo's...
Oh my god, that really hurts.
Yeah, you're not on mute.
I know. It hurt again before I reached the mute button.
Oh shit. Are you okay?
Yeah, you're alright. Get up and stretch, man.
Yep.
I'm trying to go. Oh.
Sounded like he busted a nut there.
Fuck.
Just like that. All of a sudden, my ear, I'm like, please stop jerking off. Did Shell come out of the call? Alright,
He
because he
did.
did. Well, that's a shame. But anyway, what I was going to say was that there was one thing that Nintendo could have even alluded to, that it wouldn't have saved them, but it definitely would have calmed down the internet backlash on it. Fucking Metroid.
Yeah.
Fucking Metroid. If they had just done Metroid, the internet wouldn't have gotten super butthurt over this whole thing. People wanted Metroid. It wasn't like fucking rocket science. Show a fucking minute-long CG trailer of, like, I don't know, space, and then the Metroid ship, and Samus comes out at the end, and then she looks at the camera, and that says, like, Metroid coming eventually. That would have shut everyone up.
Honestly, there are two things going on wrong with that. See, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the thing is, people want Metroid, right? They want again. We go back to the expectations bullshit again that I said. And
Okay.
secondly, and this is hypocritical of other fans of Sony or Microsoft. They can say Nintendo can say coming eventually, but everybody on the internet will be like, oh, it's gonna eventually. It's gonna take too long, and it's not
Yeah, I
worth
guess you're
it.
right. Zelda Wii U, that's true.
Yeah. So, in regard, while in Sony and Microsoft, you know what they do? They announce games and they'll come out next year, and they won't get any hate. Well, Microsoft will, but Sony fans will probably like, that's expected. But on the other hand, Nintendo, when they see Nintendo shit coming out next year or the next 2 years, they'll be like, the stupid Nintendo, and that's what I see on the internet. That's what I notice.
No, I agree with you. That is very common, but I mean, like I said, it's like I don't really think that the people who got angry on the internet were asking for the moon. I think they just wanted.
But they wanted the moon. They weren't asking for it. Well, okay, some of them were asking for it, but they wanted it.
Of course, they wanted the. Who doesn't want the moon?
Oh, did I miss something?
And then there's then there's dissatisfaction, even with getting the moon. You know,
That's people who's just not impressed with things.
Right.
it's just that
I mean, some things
again,
just don't grab people.
yeah. Again, we go back to expectations.
Last year, for example, Sony announced Little Big Planet 3, and I was in that Sony theater experience because my cousin paid for it. And people were clapping and whatnot. I wasn't. I was, like, unimpressed. And so I think a lot of it also comes down to if it appeals to you, because sometimes you'll just be dissatisfied even if it's God's gift to man. Because, like, the Sony trifecta, honestly, Shenmue means nothing to me, because I have no experience with it.
I'm the same, and the same goes for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and definitely The Last Guardian.
Last Guardian, it's like, it existed for a while, and frankly, it won't live up to
It didn't look very good in the beginning.
And, Final Fantasy VII, I didn't care much for the original. It looks graphically fine, I guess, but I can't exactly trust Square Enix to change it, or at least to not change things for the worse. So it's like, I can't exactly get enthused about those. Many people will get enthusiastic about it. We've seen Shenmue get its Kickstarter fulfilled within less than a day.
Like 9 hours. 2 million in 9 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like different strokes for different folks.
And the whole thing, okay, listen, the expectation thing is not unreasonable, but don't...
Oh, God.
But don't...
That wasn't pain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Just don't bust another nut on us, okay?
Yeah.
It was a leg.
Your leg busted the nut?
Yeah.
That's a pretty talented leg you've got there.
It is.
Listen, Icepick, I know people want the moon. I know that. It's just that when they don't get it, they can be really bratty kids about it.
That's why
it's the internet. I don't know what you people were expecting. Were you expecting reasonable discourse? Were you expecting the rational decisions of fully matured adults?
Of course not. Of course not. It's just, you know, it was ad hominem, ad nauseum times infinity, though. It's just
and this is why
awful.
I don't take any gaming forums seriously.
Well, yeah, same here. I don't really go to gaming forums. I talk to gaming shit with you guys, and that's it.
I don't think rational and internet should be in the same sentence.
Exactly. That's my point.
Unless
Echo.
it's irrational.
Exactly. Yeah, unless you throw an ear in front of it.
Yeah.
Here's that.
Yeah. But
the internet is why I don't read reviews anymore. I have to play the game now to know how I like the game or not.
That's why I usually just buy sequels, honestly. I don't really take too many chances on new IPs unless I hear a lot of really good stuff about them.
Well, isn't that the opposite of what Neko just said?
Yeah, it is. I usually will even try out new IPs. If I look at the video and it looks interesting, I'll try a demo or something.
Well, yeah, but the problem is that you don't get too many demos anymore either, so...
I know. Don't you miss the days of, PlayStation when they used to give out all these discs?
Shit, you know what I really miss? The days of shareware, when you could get, the first 3 stages of a game and just share it with all your friends, and then they'd be all like, oh, wow, this is cool, maybe I'll buy it. I'd be like, yeah, this is cool, let's buy it. Y'all remember shareware? What am I talking about? Any of you guys
Well, maybe that's why there's no shareware. No, I remember it.
Oh, well, that's good.
But the reason why it died is because no one has friends on PC.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Also, another
off
thing,
topic
though.
for a bit.
Oh, go ahead.
Isaac, have you ever heard of these cookies called Lindens?
No, I have not.
No.
You know, it's this stuff that was in my childhood when I was back in Baltimore, Maryland. And I think my aunt, well, one of my aunts, sent us a buttload of Butter Crunch cookies. So
Yep.
it's like a taste of heaven from the lower 48. And that's about it for me.
Mm.
Well, going back to the can I blame them? Yes, I can.
Well, of course
Totally
you can.
can.
I'm not.
Shit. My ass got kicked by Mewtwo.
But yeah. The point is that I understand that you can't really.
Not blame me.
Yeah, I can't really. Yeah, I mean, you can obviously blame them, but honestly, just the at this point, it's become like it's fucking clockwork, man. It's fucking clockwork. Something happens on the internet, people get angry about it. I've just learned to move on. I learned to move on like a decade ago, man.
Well, it's like
I don't
everywhere
understand.
because of the internet.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You just ignore it. You learn to let it slide off your back.
Yeah.
It's just pointless anger, and eventually you just sort of get past it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just different than the rest of you guys in the sense that I can just sort of look at this and just go, eh.
You know, honestly, I have to, one, say you're a bit hypocritical.
Okay,
Yeah.
please do so.
The small Nintendo 3DS. But,
Fair
but
enough.
this-
I will defend that till my dying day.
Okay. But other than that, I do see where you're coming from, and I know it's probably hypocritical on my end as well. But most of the time, it's like I wrote a tweet a while back, and I said, when something bothers you, it should only bother you for like 30 minutes at max, and then you should just move on with your life. I'm just like, because it's like, oh, hey, look, it's waifu thing, or whatever. And it's like, whatever. I'll move on with my life in like 30 minutes at best. Because it's like, there's no reason for me to get upset for this long at video games. I mean, it's just a hobby. And it's like, I just can't bring myself to put my weight behind it for much of anything for what they want to do. I mean, there's no point in me acting as if they're putting a gun to one of my family members' heads. They're not. I mean, we have people who would be willing to provide content that we want somewhere else. And we can just go to them if they provide what we like. I mean,
Pretty much.
I think the other problem I have is buzzwords. And, like, obviously with buzzwords, they're thrown around to the point that they don't mean anything. And I mentioned, like, two of the words that I said stopped triggering me was both anime and waifu. Because they both don't really mean anything anymore. Anime is used as such a wide catch-all term. It doesn't mean anything. And unfortunately, it's not just the people who hate it that threw it under a bus. There's also people who like the stuff who also throw it under the bus. Like,
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
college anime clubs. There's a reason why they're college clubs.
Hey,
Because
let's go to my anime club and watch an episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah. And whatnot. And then there's waifu, which I feel like is the worst one, in a sense, because it sort of feels like it feels like a way of saying that not all women are equal.
I'm sorry.
No, I know where you're
Please,
going at.
I want you to go on.
Hold up. No, but let me go on with this. I know where you're getting at,
JT
and
has
let me.
officially given
I
up
spec.
3D.
I spec.
I'm sorry.
No. Oh my god.
Okay,
do
go ahead. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, whoever listens to this will probably won't take this seriously. But it's not. But I know people who watch anime, they use it, but it's like messing about with that community. You know who throws it around not seriously, who does seriously. But with people who aren't in that community, they throw it around unironically, no matter what. And that's when it actually becomes a bigger problem. Because, like, you see people going, oh, there's these waifu elements, like, the marriage stuff and Fire Emblem Awakening and whatnot. And you're like, oh, this waifu stuff never happened before until now. And I'm sitting here thinking, first of all, waifus existed before we had dating sims. I mean, the whole waifu and a very old term, bishi, was used, and we weren't, playing dating sim games. We were just watching TV and playing video games. I mean, we also remember the whole first cartoon crushes and whatnot when we were younger and whatnot. So, I mean, it's bound to happen. It's obviously, of course, the older people where, it's more of a problem. But at the same time, it sort of feels weird that you would never see the word waifu thrown in as a derogatory sense for like Western stuff, because obviously they wouldn't throw it around at all. But like, even with Nintendo stuff, if someone says they like Isabelle or Rosalina, both in games that have no dating sim elements, people would accuse you for liking them because of waifu stuff.
Well,
So,
I mean, I
right?
understand what you're saying. Go ahead.
So it's like, I can't, I mean, I wasn't that big on the word, but it feels even worse when both sides are just using it. Because one side's just using it seriously to the point where it's like, is there a point to having a serious female? Because even when I went into that Bloodstain topic,
Mm-hmm.
there was someone who called Order of Ecclesia's art style anime. And we remember what came before that. Yeah, do you see the problem?
I see what you mean, and I understand. I mean, your issue is more that, the term has just become so overused that it literally doesn't mean anything anymore. Like a lot of terms that tend to get invented.
Exclusive.
Yeah, like exclusive, for example.
Yeah.
There's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I understand what you mean by getting annoyed at the whole idea of, people bashing shit. Oh, this is some waifu bullshit. And I understand that. And I understand this is some anime bullshit I mean, I understand your problem with this is some anime bullshit criticism. But,
Yeah, I mean, it's just lazy of how people just use it.
again, that's kind of the problem. Laziness is sort of an epidemic these days.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really do much about it.
Yeah. This is all modern medicine's fault. If they didn't have medicine where we could replace people's lungs and not care about our bodies, we probably wouldn't be dealing with this. It'd be survival of the fittest.
Mm.
And I think we're veering into a completely direction.
Well, the thing is, though, I know it's the internet again, but there's there. I mean, the phrase, "We're never gonna they're never gonna live down. They're never gonna live it down." Yeah.
Mm.
So that's why I'm saying there are some people that are fucking trolls that they just never let the thing die. You know, let something die, something referring to the past, whether it was positive or negative doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, there was one example I told Icepick about on, I think, Sunday.
mhm.
Or was it Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday.
Go for it.
I think you guys saw it. It was about when Ryu was revealed
Yeah.
on
Right.
Smash Bros. There was this one guy I knew, and literally, he was the only guy who threw a shit fit when
Oh God.
he found out that Ryu had inputs. And he's like, Smash Bros is ruined. They're going to put inputs in for all the characters by Smash Bros 6. I am going to hold on to this post so that way I can go, haha, I was right all along. When, of course, like I said, when Smash 6 came out. And I'm like, first of all, maybe you're right in the sense that inputs might be a bit of a bad thing. I see your point. But then you get to the point where it's like, they're going to put it in future Smash Bros. And it's like, you pretty much burned a bridge with people who would sympathize with you. And I'm over here thinking, this dude really has a fetish for being bullied. I can't help it, because he just does things that enables that. And it feels bad to say that because my sister got bullied. But it honestly feels like that's what he wants. That he just wants that feeling of euphoria.
Anyways, like I was saying, it's just that I shouldn't be upset for like a short amount of time, but I'm upset at the negative reaction, at the limitless negative reaction posts that just popped up out after the whole. See, I mean, sure, I probably got to that 1 or 3 for 30 minutes, but when it just keeps coming, you know, it's just, it finally just gets to you, you know.
I understand.
I think this is probably why I'm glad I have a job.
Yeah, you and me both, brother.
Mm. I mean, I saw bits and pieces of the negativity. But I wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't really get the full brunt of it myself.
Yeah.
You were lucky. It's not that exciting. It wasn't that exciting.
I kind of laugh at people fucking bitching the way they do.
But go ahead, KG.
I just think that when people just complain about stuff, I end up finding it better than I was expecting. And unfortunately, again, I will see this, that I felt the same way about Final Fantasy 13, where I'm like, Like I saw where some of it came from because it wasn't what people expected from a next generation RPG, but I'm like, where's the problem other than that? No, like, whatever. And I guess it was probably a good thing I decided to wait a bit to let the negativity die down, but just so I can experience it. Then it's like I can remember it, but I'm not basking in the negativity as I'm playing the game.
Yeah, well, I guess that's all. I guess it took a turn for the uncivilized, but I guess mostly we got it through. You know.
Pretty much. I mean, we survived with 4 members intact, right?
Yeah, Shell dropped out.
At least we're alive. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, tempers flared for a bit. Mine and Shell mostly.
I apologize for pissing you guys off. I didn't mean to. I don't know. It just seems kind of like...
Because I thought about this all day. I thought about it.
I understand, and frankly, I didn't. I just sort of got over it and like went on with the rest of my day. I'm like, well, that was kind of a bummer. Oh well.
Yeah.
Let's go to
Yeah.
I mean, my two thoughts after they went straight into Treehouse was, that was it, and oh man, the internet's gonna be pissed off. Better get to work.
Yeah, I also I also thought I was like, oh, that was it. Yeah, that wasn't very exciting. That wasn't very good. Like, yeah, I sure had a solid lineup of games. Just wasn't the. Yeah, wasn't what.
Yeah.
Like I
Fuck,
said,
I'm a
it's,
hypocrite right there. It just wasn't what I was expecting. That's what I was gonna say. Fuck. Well, what? But I went with 0. No, I can't say that anymore. I can't take it back. I definitely had some expectations, but not as high as many would think.
But that's the thing, though.
What was that
It's
noise?
I think it's
No.
from Neko.
that's a Rin meowing.
Mm-hmm.
His pussy.
Meow. Yep. See, meow. But yeah. To answer your question, I mean, I didn't have any real expectations. I mean, I didn't have any expectations for myself. I wanted, like KG said, the small new 3DS, and at this point, I'm pretty much given up on that thing ever coming out here. That's a horrible thing to say, but I've given up.
You've given up on that ever since the day the XL was announced.
Pretty much. I've just been very bitter about it, and I will continue to be bitter about it.
I guess we're not any different from the internet.
That's the thing, though. I'm just bitter about it. I'm not, actively, I'm not hijacking E3 streams going, where's my small Nintendo 3DS, you fuckers? You literal Nazis!
I mean, the Paper Jam is fresh, right? That was fresh, right?
Paper Jam is fresh. See, Neko, the problem... I think the problem stems from the fact that people don't really see the 3DS as, important anymore.
So just because we didn't get a new, never heard before Wii U game, they had a bad E3. Okay.
Exact. See, when you say it like that, do you understand? When you say it out loud, when you hear yourself say it, you understand, right?
I understand, but it just sounds stupid.
Saying, I'm not saying it's not stupid. I'm just saying that's how it went down.
I mean, where did they get the notion that Nintendo was going to have something new, never heard or seen before ever?
I think, didn't Nintendo kind of imply that was going to be the case?
Not sure. I don't
think they
so.
said that, we've got all new games that you've never heard of before. I understand that they did have all new games we had never heard of before, but I think the implication was that there'd be a new, never before seen Wii U game.
Oh, yeah.
We got it. Animal Crossing Party.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a good point. Hey, wait! I just realized something. This is 2 years where Animal Crossing fucked over Nintendo, right? No, wait, 3, because once they got fucked over by its absence. That's kind of funny when you think about it like that, right? See, this is horrible to say, but I'm kind of glad that Ki and Shell retired for the night, because I couldn't make jokes like that around them. They would flip out at me if I had said that in front of them, right?
They grab a knife, try to skin you.
Oh, exactly. But with you guys, Psych, did that offend you? What I said about how Animal Crossing fucked over Nintendo 3 years?
Can I ask you something, Ice?
No, hold on.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the absence?
Yeah. 1 year it was the absence of Animal Crossing that fucked them. Another year it was just the fact that Animal Crossing is the only hardcore game they had. Fucked them over.
No, I won't go so far as fucking them over, though.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It didn't offend me, but like I said, Nintendo did not win at all. Not even close. It was so dull.
If anyone lost Nintendo, or if anyone lost Nintendo, it was God damn
it. In comparison, very dull. Just
very dull.
solid lineup, Just very dull.
I
Very
feel
dull,
like
though.
if this had been like an average E3 for everyone else, it wouldn't have. It would have been okay, but it wasn't.
Mhm.
Microsoft brought some big guns in, backwards compatibility, Halo 5 footage, Gears of War 4,
Yep.
Rare Replay, an all-new Rare game that isn't fucking Kinect Sports.
God.
Microsoft went to town, and they didn't even win E3. They
Mhm.
went all out. But
Yep.
they couldn't even win because then Sony came back at them and they were like, okay, Last Guardian, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Shenmue 3, Uncharted 4. Bam. And Nintendo was like, well, I think we kind of got a Metroid spin-off. Also, here's Paper Mario and Luigi. Good night. Here's some Muppets. Look, the new Star Fox game was revealed, but you heard about that last year. It's not like like I said, if this had been an average E3 all around, Nintendo could have just slipped through it unnoticed. Problem
Yeah.
is that Microsoft and Sony brought it, and Nintendo didn't.
Yeah, we had expectations, but not as high, but not as so low as what Nintendo brought in.
Yeah, that's kind of it's not even that. I think it's by comparison that it looks bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sure. By comparison with previous E3 Nintendos or with the other conferences this year,
Probably
Other
yes.
conferences.
probably
Yeah.
both.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Probably both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not awful by any means, but it's just really
I mean, last year we
Mhm.
got a Zelda Wii U announcement.
Again, I think if we got any more news, I still think Nintendo would have still got a decent amount of
They would've-
backlash.
Of course, but the problem is that they wouldn't have gotten the level of backlash. People are like-
I don't know about that. It's just Star Fox was shown this year.
Star Fox was shown this year, that's true. But
If it
like
wasn't
I
shown
said-
in place of Zelda, it still would have received the same amount of backlash.
That's true. But it's not, I don't even think it's just that Zelda wasn't there, which, again, I really thought that was a very weird
Obvious.
omission. I mean, I understand that they pushed it back to 2016, but
Yeah,
you could have given us like a little status update, right?
they did. Didn't
What?
you remember
Wait, what did they say?
that they weren't gonna put it in E3?
No, I know that, but like, I understand that they said that they weren't going to put it in E3, but like, that was probably a mistake on its own.
Yeah, of course, but
Like, they could have just like did something.
but it was weird with your wording though.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Sorry. You have to remember, I'm kind of running on fumes at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just talking about how E3 lost Nintendo.
Yeah,
Remember?
that's true.
So, I mean, you'll have to forgive me for sounding a little disoriented at the moment. But, I mean, they could have just... If they had had, like, a tiny bit of Zelda Wii U presence. And I understand KI's anger at the whole, oh, that guy said that Zelda wasn't there, but there was a Zelda game for reals. And there was a Zelda game there for reals, but we all knew what he meant. We all know what the implication is there.
Mhm.
The implication was there. And that's the thing. It wasn't like the worst thing ever. It wasn't really bad, but
It was mediocre.
it was mediocre, and both of the other two were good, at least.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what caused the backlash.
Yeah.
We got spoiled in previous years with Nintendo. Microsoft and Sony did an excellent job this year, both of them.
I guess we should talk about that
Yeah.
the other
Well,
time.
yeah. Well.
But
we'll do
again,
that
the implication was there in how well, yeah, there was this new Zelda. I don't get it. What you're saying? I don't get what you're saying.
What do you?
Yes.
Could you?
I don't
ask me?
get what you're saying. It's like the implication was there in Zelda. What?
When the
I think it was
guy
the what-
said
yeah.
that Zelda didn't appear, you know which
No,
Zelda.
no, that's not what Kai said. That's not what Kai said. He said.
No, I know that he didn't. He didn't mention that there was a Zelda game there. You're
Yeah.
right. But the thing is that if he had said Zelda, what do you think the first thing that would have popped
Zelda
into the kid's
Wii
head?
U, of course, but that's not what he said, though.
I
You
know. I know that's not what he said, but help me out here.
I'm trying to
You're
help.
talking about what ifs, though.
I'm not talking about what if. Yes, I know there was a
No,
Zelda
not.
game at the E3 conference. I'm aware of that, but the issue is that that wasn't what people wanted.
No, of course not. Again, shit. Fuck.
Oh, heck.
They wanted the Zelda on Wii U.
Yeah, no, of course, expectations, no, but I guess we should just end it. I'm Psychvat. You go ahead. Go ahead, guys.
I've been Professor Icepick.
Let's see. I'm seriously questioning whether I want to write for any now. The people in this chat are fucking trolling.
I'm Chico Gamer X. Eh.
And this is KG.
Yeah, that's KG. That was the guy who was speaking or mumbling, if you can hear him.
Pretty much.
Nintendo E3 event was very dull, very mediocre, solid lineup, but still, expectations were fucking high. Really, just expect an average event. Just don't go with high expectations, or else you're just gonna be stupid.
Apparently he asked me when the release date was. I don't know why he asked me.
Let's just hope
anyway.
for another direct real soon.
Yeah.
See, good. Any got there ahead of their asses.
And KG's just talking to himself. Great.
Fucking hell.
And I thought I was delusional tonight.
Let's see. Oh, that's my stuff.
I don't think he's talking to us.
I was trying to look.
I don't think you can hear
for
us.
Kai's comment.
KG, can you hear us? We're ending the podcast.
Yeah, whatever.
Say goodnight.
Fucking KG. That's KG.
Say goodnight, KG.
Before we end it,
All right.
did you like my image?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was funny.
All right. Anyway, yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night.